Ready, Taylor. Alrighty, guys, we will go ahead and get this meeting started. It is 6:33. And I appreciate everybody being here tonight, all of our guests. And I kind of expected a few more gentlemen to be out in the audience that was running the office, but hopefully they're tuning into their live stream. If everybody will go ahead and silence your mobile devices. Got a lot of stuff on our agenda tonight. And Commissioner Harding, if you would lead us in our invocation tonight.
Let's pray. Your Heavenly Father, as we gather here this afternoon, Father God, we just thank you for the beautiful day and the many blessings and opportunities, Father, that you have given us. Father, I ask that you be with each one here tonight. I ask that you be with this community. Watch over, keep us safe, Father God. As we decide decisions for this county, Father, I ask your hand to be on our decisions and on this meeting. These things I ask in your name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Commissioner Stephen, would you care to lead us in the pledge tonight?
Attention, salute. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Everybody will go ahead and make themselves aware of our ethics and awareness conflict of interest reminder. If anybody has any conflicts of interest at this time, please go ahead and let the board know. Hearing none, we'll move on to item 6, additions or changes to the agenda.
Mr. Masters, I'd like to make a motion to add number 9D to the agenda. Mitchell Recreation update. Mr. Brockton.
Thank you, Commissioner Pittman. That's a motion. Do we have a second to add that to our agenda tonight?
Second.
Thank you, Jeff. All in favor, vote by usual sign. Motion carries. Moving on, we'll have the adoption of the agenda. Do we have a motion to adopt the agenda tonight?
So moved.
Thank you, Brandon.
Second.
Thank you, Clayton. Everybody vote by usual sign. Motion carries. Has everybody had enough time to review the minutes for December the 4th, 2023?
Make a motion to approve the minutes. Second.
Thank you, Brandon. Vote by usual sign. Motion carries. Is that Brandon and Steve, right? Oh, sorry. Moving right along for item 9A, we have our employee of the month. All right, Miss Jessie Presnell, come on up.
You are smiling.
Mitchell County Board of Commissioners would like to recognize Jessie Presnell from the tax office as the department, as the employee of the month for December. Sorry, got tongue tied. I'll pick on you so much, that's my karma, isn't it? Jessie has been nominated and selected for going above and beyond for providing excellent customer service during the very busy tax collection season, demonstrating the true definition of customer service. Citizens have indicated that she is treating them with polite, confident, and helpful manner in a very professional manner and maintains her composure even when a customer is upset over a tax matter. She's always smiling and maintains a professional demeanor at all times. Therefore, with her being respectful, courteous, and treating customers with dignity and respect creates a positive experience for our Mitchell County citizens. Jesse consistently demonstrates calmness and is patient and constructive when dealing with frustrated or unhappy customers. Jesse goes above and beyond by taking extra measures to conduct the necessary research and ensure tax questions are answered for our customers. Thank you, Jesse, for going above and beyond and providing customer service for our Mitchell County citizens. Congratulations on being nominated and selected as the Employee of the Month for December of 2023. Yeah, come on, make everybody get up here.
You have to be correct.
No, it's okay. Okay, well, I'll go to the front then and take a picture.
Yeah, lower.
Put everybody up here.
The towers are in the back. So you go, okay, come on.
the owl.
Okay, come on in.
Congratulations, all right, thank you.
Good job.
Thanks, Jesse. You do a very good job.
Yeah. Congrats.
Jesse, you would die if we make you give a speech written. All right, you're back up again for your tax collector's report.
Thank you, that's an honor. Okay. For tonight, as you'll see in your collections report, we collected for the month of December $3,652,329.67. That's for the month. We are at 80.54% for the month of December. 80.54. But I will say this, we did 3% in 2 days. That 3%. Just yesterday and today. Of course, we weren't open yesterday, but online, everything, web, in person,
2 days.
in 2 days.
Better than what was collected, the month of December was collected the last 2 days of the month.
Yeah. 2 days.
30%.
So you guys have been very busy.
Yeah, as you know, we had 35 people in the drive-through in 1 day. Mhm.
Does anybody have any questions for Ms. Jesse?
And I was gonna tell you some more stuff.
Oh, yes.
Brandon, do you remember? The homeowners relief program you shared with us from the chamber
Yes.
last year of February?
Yes.
We've had 3 people apply, 2 have been paid in full, and got the assistance. We've got 1 in process right now, so that's helpful. The North Carolina Housing Assistance,
Yeah.
they've closed now, so they don't have any more funding. And as far as payments to date, $301,593 as far as where we these went to the foreclosure, they either paid or came, was auctioned. We had no auctions in December. So these were all paid in full in December. No, that's all I have.
Thank you. That's all I get information.
Okay. Thank you again, guys.
That was an email I forwarded to you, right?
Yes, it was an email back in February. I printed it, so.
Awesome.
I mean, that you
So you
did.
that helps people with that?
Pardon?
So he was able to help some people with that?
Yes, and we had the flyers in the office, if I could pick them up, but we told them over the phone or in person, try this.
That's cool.
And it did work, it went back to older years, it wasn't just COVID. Yes.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing that.
You're welcome, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I remember that.
Moving on in our agenda tonight for item 9C, I asked Taylor to go ahead and put board reports in there. So if there was anybody that wanted to give an update on any of the boards that they're sitting on, they will have the opportunity to do so. But I have just a brief overview that I will share with you guys. I'll start out. So for the NCACC, their risk management is going to do another cybersecurity class. And so that's going to be in January the 30th, AV Tech. I think Alan's going to try to go this go around. So if anybody wants to attend that, it's a lot closer than it was in Raleigh. Please let Taylor know so she can get you guys signed up. And I won't go through all of this packet, but we did receive this from the NCACC. And for our viewers on the live stream, the NCACC is North Carolina Association of County Commissioners. And I'll make this available for everybody. And if anybody watching the live stream would like to have it, Taylor has a copy. But it's just a brief overview on our state budget and some topics that they're going to focus on moving on into the fiscal year for 2023-2024. There are three main priority goals that they're going to set is for broadband, K-12 community college capital projects, and then Medicaid expansion. And so also in this packet, you will find a few different topics about land use and zoning. You will have some topics that they amended as far as infrastructure, water and wastewater regulations. There were a few updates on session law 2023-139 and 140, the partisan advantage in elections and the election law change. And so it breaks that down and gives you what changes were made in that. There were six different changes in the justice and public safety sector, 3 changes regarding health and human services. Mainly those are spun around Medicaid expansion, 2 in the public education, 6 in environmental, and then 1 change regarding the sale of honey in agriculture. So if anybody wants those, I have copies. And then tonight you'll see in the very back, we have our travel and tourism TDA director, Miss Kelly. So she'll be giving you guys an update, probably in a month or so, about all the stuff she's got going on, but she's working really, really hard on some stuff. And another board that I sat on recently was the extension. And Brian Cave has asked the people that sit on that board if there's anybody that is good at engaging the community, if you would make a recommendation to him as far as people in the future that could serve on that board. I had recommended to him Alan English, and Alan has accepted to sit on there. So if anybody has any of those, send them to Alan and he can get them to Brian, or send them to Brian directly. But all of our experts, they gave a pretty detailed report at our last meeting, Christmas tree season, as everybody knows. And then there's a lot of stuff about drones, surprisingly, that I thought was pretty interesting. So if you guys have any questions about that, I'll get that to you. And since our last meeting, the fire departments did have the opportunity to go through with Tanner Winchester and check out the new school. And we had most of our fire departments in attendance, I think all but one, plus Green Valley. And so they went through, checked everything out before sheetrock and stuff went up. And then when I spoke to Tim today, they're going to schedule another walkthrough once the walls go up and they have a better idea, just so that if there's ever a fire, they can be prepared. And then last but not least, I have a mail-in update. Dr. Boyd has tickets for you guys in your mailbox for a light show to the Dark Sky Park. So make sure you get those. He was very excited to give those out. And then the first joint Mitchell Avery Animal Shelter meeting is scheduled next week for January the 9th. So we'll have more updates on that. That's all I've got. If there's any, I don't know how many people met in December for their boards, but if anybody has any updates.
I met with the Body Health Board of Directors on December 14th, and I guess the big takeaway from there is longtime CEO of Body Health, Brian Ingram, is retired. That was his last, I guess, official day at BIA, and Tracy Hayes is taking over the operation. I think our LME MCO is in good hands with Ms. Tracy Hayes. So I look forward to seeing what she can do. I met with the Parks and Rec Board early this month, and we talked about some bylaw updates. I think Brock's gonna fill you in on some of those tonight. And we talked about the upcoming basketball season and practices and games and so forth, but I'll defer to Brock during his presentation. JCPC didn't meet this month because
Christmas.
A lot of words that down, but. Anybody else?
I met with Northwest Housing Authority in Blowing Rock, not a whole lot to update. From there, not just yet. We should start seeing some things happening in Grassy Creek with the new property in the next little bit. That's something that says that that's something is gonna be taking place. Peer review didn't meet, library board didn't meet, and our association.
I think they meet in January.
We did miss, Susie.
Yeah, we did.
I'll let Jeff up.
I mean, just basic facts and numbers on that.
Grab that TCP or CCPC.
Mayland hired a fire instructor.
Oh, good.
They'll start in the fall. And it's one of the local folks here, so
Another fire department was very happy for you guys to update them on that.
I think he starts sometime this month, and they just start coming to the fire association meeting.
Oh, that's awesome.
Well, that is awesome news,
It
Steve.
is awesome news.
I think that's been a working relationship. Alan and I went to that meeting. And I know we're a little bit off topic, talking about the fire academy now coming into our school system. And that was huge. So hopefully at the end of the day, a young person can graduate as a senior, be a certified fire department, work for a paid fire department in the neighborhood of about $60,000 a year plus benefits. And the goal there, they can still live at home, commute to their fire station to work and be an active volunteer in the community. And I know this is something for us not to act on tonight because of course it's not on the agenda, but I'm gonna go ahead and throw it out there. There was Article 44 money held from Maine Community College in the amount of $20-something thousand until this fire academy got started. So with the hiring of an instructor at next month's meeting, or if we made a second meeting at our next meeting, whether it's this month or next month, I'd like that to be put on the agenda and us consider voting to give that money to Maine Community College, not to Boyd, because they fulfill their commitment.
Thanks. Alrighty. Rock, Lloyd, Stan, you guys are up, but I don't know who wants to go first.
I'll go first.
All right.
So we try to do an annual report every year about recreation. I've talked to Brandon about a whole lot of it. And it just kind of gives you guys an idea of what we do day in, day out, and where our numbers are. And I got some boring facts, but we had the biggest year since I started last year. So, and I'm about to get longevity pay, so that's that means you've made it 10 years in the recreation world, which is not easy. So we had in the fall, we had 160 participants in contact/flag football. We had 150 participants in soccer. We had 50 participants in volleyball. And we had like 71 cheerleaders. So the cheerleading program is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. After the fall season, there's no gap anymore. That's one thing I've noticed. We used to have a little bit of downtime. There's no downtime. So starting in November, we had 110 pre-K through first basketball players. Some of y'all may have got to come watch that. Pretty cool. I think Tyler's kids were in it.
Saturday.
Yeah, we have currently right now we've got 260 signed up. So that's also the largest number that we've ever had. We have so many that this is the first time that I can't do it in a day. If I play every team, it's like 15 hours. So somebody will be tipping off at 10 or 11 o'clock at night. So we will be doing a lot through the week as well as Saturday. But numbers are good, a lot of participation. So I don't know if we're doing something right or everybody just wants to run around a little bit. We have 8 adult league teams. which will begin Sunday at Harris. We are playing everything at Harris this year. We have played everything at Bowman for 10 years. So we're gonna trade out this year and do it at Harris. It helps a little bit when we play Yancey County, Neighbor County to get in the middle ground a little bit. So, and it helps move those bleachers. Those old bleachers. That's the last Saturday we had there. Ryan was under the bleachers with a crowbar trying to get them to go back in. So as you crawl through Pepsi and Coca-Cola.
The bleachers at Harris are electric, right?
Yes, it's really beautiful. So we'll probably play at Harris this year and next is my plan. And then our home base will be right out here in the parking lot and right over here at Bowman. At that point, and Stan will show you, we'll have a built-in concession stand at the rec center, which means I can have a portable concession stand at Bowman. It's kind of hard to do now to put one at Harris and one in Bowman. You've got to roll it in and move it and all that. That's why I try to do it in one location. The best thing is we're making huge strides on our rec center. So that's something we've worked on since the day that we started, to be honest with you. Different drawings, different whatevers, different places, different locations. So I'm excited absolutely to death on that. We had a groundbreaking, which y'all were there, but that was one of the most one of the better days in my career of anything. Like, I did not realize how much that would affect me until I got up there and started looking down at y'all, because we put a lot of time in this. So that brings me to my thank yous. And the biggest one is Cook Engineering, because I've hammered him for the past 10 years on, I don't know how much stuff he's drawn for nothing, and just me aggravating him to death. So that's my biggest thank you. Some of the stuff, if y'all have been out and looked around at the new field, one of my big thank yous is the Courts Court. First of all, Courts Court, they and I want to thank them publicly because they paid to have all the field cleared. They paid to have all the trees cut down. They paid to have everything to where we could begin field work. They also paid probably around 14 grand for road bond to put on our parking lot. Now, that's why I want to do it publicly, because every bit of this they did for nothing. And Boone Woodlawn Quarry, Josh Boone, good friend of mine, gave us a great deal on the ballast that went up underneath it for the parking lot. And we're not done with it, because we're going to extend it further. Tri-County Construction, hydroseeded, good deal. It wasn't free, but it was a good deal on our bank. Put the matting down. B&W Stone, hydroseeded the whole field. Which he did it like the middle of November. So I know you don't see a lot of grass now, but you will. Gooch School, Colby, myself and the county and Colby with Gooch Schools split to have between Gooch and the field. I don't know if y'all seen that. It's all cleaned. Green Life Maintenance did that. They did a great job. Asplin and Ryan Hull donated. They cut every tree down the whole line. I don't know if you paid attention to that. They were all hanging over the field. Cut them all in the rain on a Friday for 4 sweatshirts. So, Sabelco just gave us a new scoreboard that's going to be put up at Gooch. It's sitting in my office. That's the second scoreboard that they have. I think that are my thank yous so far. And of course, our sponsors that we go to every year. But you know, it's been vital in what they've helped us do to get to this point. And it's not taken lightly. So I hope everybody's listening that we're thanking. And I hope they know that I'm going to ask them for more. So that's pretty well my annual report. I do have a book. I'll give y'all a book. I think did I give you one, Brandon? Already? This right here is because of transparency we get questions, cause you're dealing with, I give you the now. You're dealing with what's the most precious thing in anybody's life if you're standing here? Their child. Okay, so everybody loves their child just like I love my child. So it's a very fragile thing that we deal with. And I promise you, every game and everything we do, one side's gonna be mad. They're not gonna win. So it's a tough situation. So this book is just a thing of transparency. If somebody comes in Southern Ridge and says, Harley, I am so mad that Brock did this during the game, you've got a rule for every sport that we do.
That's good because you know I'm not sport
Right.
savvy.
And that might help you anyway to study that. But that's for every sport: baseball, football, basketball, volleyball, cheerleading, and baseball. It'll take you a year to memorize all the differences in them. So y'all have that. Emma made those. She did a good job. And bylaws are coming. I think Ford's going to do some things to that, but it's the bylaws are. It says the same thing over and over and over a lot, but I think he's going to clean up a few things, and then we'll continue to meet our board. I'm going to meet my board again as soon as we've got the schematic design, but as soon as y'all approve it and we roll on with it, I'll meet with the board again to kind of show them where we are there. So that way they've got an idea. Questions? Anybody?
This is helpful.
Yep. That help you because you guys are gonna get hammered every now and then, and probably from somebody that I've offended, because one thing we're gonna do, whether you like it or whether you don't, we're gonna do it right. So that's not always favorable, and with success comes we got great success right now, so you're gonna have more and more, just people get aggravated. They get aggravated at me on Saturday and shake my hand on Monday. That's just life when you're playing sports. So I hope to do it 10 more years. That'd be out of getting. If we can do it 10 more years. So questions for anything?
No, I'll say I appreciate this.
That'll help you. That'll help, especially baseball. There's so much in that, man. And it changes, but that'll give you the rules for everything. So
I've got some head in U12 soccer.
yeah, I changed that just for you.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Brock.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Moving on to item 10A is the approval of the schematic design for Mitchell County Rec Center. So I guess that means Steve, you're up.
All right, so like Brock was talking about, we've made it through schematic design. And I'm gonna give you guys a packet to look over and hopefully approve tonight. We've got a tight schedule. We're trying to meet a deadline in April to get this thing out for bid. Hopefully, then move forward with that. So we're under a tight schedule. We've been working hard. We've been working hard with the design team, which is Lloyd, Brock, Alan, even Harley's been involved some. But right now, this is the exciting part. You get to see some of what this thing is gonna look like. With the schematic design, this is just a reminder, this is just floor plans and elevations. So on the front sheet, you'll see pretty much elevation perspective kind of view. You see an elevation and just an overall floor plan. Page 2 would be a blown up floor plan of the office space. You'll see the legend over on the right side, just kind of color coded for storage areas, utility in the data room, office spaces, restrooms, concession stand, and then the corridor, of course. And then that light green color is the aerobics and workout room. So all this work coming together, trying to meet all of Brock and Ryan's needs as far as function and flow, building code requirements, ADA requirements. Scott Bartholomew, the architect, he's been highly involved with this as well. So looking at the perspective on the front page, you can see the front entrance, that would be facing the parking lot. We switched that around from the original design off the end of the building. This kind of enters into the main corridor. The last page is the first cut of the gymnasium. We've got several lines on there. In the middle of the court would be the volleyball court. That's the purple lines, if you can see that. And then you got some pickleball courts on each of the half court. The walking track goes all the way around. Let's see, we've got bleachers. Looking at the bottom of the page there on that wall, we've got bleachers that would retract. That would be off the walking track when not in use. That dash line is like the line when they're folded up. So it's very functional. We're trying to utilize every inch of space on this footprint, and hopefully we can get approval tonight.
I appreciate the time that you guys have went through this, Lori Brooks and Ellen. I feel like you guys have thought about every aspect.
It's a lot easier to look at on this than your iPad.
I thought so. If you guys have any questions, I'll be glad to answer them.
For that one. You guys have any questions?
The reason we need a vote on this is, we're up against the fiscal year, and one of our grants is starting to get closer to its expiration dates. We want to obligate that first grant on out into this project, so therefore we're needing that vote, and we're wanting to move toward those construction ready plans so we can get into bidding. So that's why we gave you a date of January that we'd have you a plan for review, and we're trying to hold that schedule down.
I make the motion we approve the designs schematic for the rec center.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor, vote by the usual sign.
I just had a
Oh,
quick
sorry.
question, if you don't care.
Yes.
Has anything changed in the schematic since we met with, I guess the last time?
We swapped the aerobics room and the treadmill room. That's it.
In the front.
And the closets. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we've had a few changes. Even the locker room, they're kind of integrated in with the restrooms.
Gotcha.
We got some storage off the gymnasium now. Like Brock said, we switched the aerobics and the workout room. Let's see.
The size of it, so we're.
Size is the
It's
same.
larger.
That's right.
Yeah, I was just curious.
Yeah, is there any more questions?
It does have your washer and dryer.
It does. You see it?
Yeah, it's
They
down.
put it in the storage room right there. Yep,
W&D, that's what I thought that may be.
yep.
And again, the schematic design, like I said, it's floor plans and a first cut of the elevation. With your approval, we're going to be moving into the design development phase, which we'll be moving forward with more details. I'll be getting involved more structurally, mechanically and electrically. Derek will be getting involved with that, so.
Yeah. Is there any more questions? Before we move forward? All right, Steve has a motion, Jeff has a second. No more questions, then everybody vote by usual sign. Motion carries. All right,
Thank you.
congratulations. All righty, our next item up is our audit contract from Misty Watson, CPA. And Mavis, are you going to speak a little bit about that?
Go ahead. No, you're good. As you recall, last year, we went out for bid for a new auditor, and we hired Misty Watson. And I'm not sure if you remember or not, but usually when an auditor does do a proposal, it's a 3-year proposal. And even though she did us a 3-year proposal each year, it is required that for local government commission that we sign a contract. And I think we were all pleased with her work last year. And she has sent us the contract for this year, which will be fiscal year ended 6/30/24. So we need to approve that. And of course, the price stayed the same. She gave us a fixed price for 3 years, so it's $42,500. And I do think it went well. It went very, very smooth for a new auditor. I think we worked well together, and I think we were both happy. She wants to come back, and I would love for her to come back. So if the board would love that, we need to approve her contract so we can get it signed and get it sent into local government commission so they can approve her for another year.
Okay,
So moved.
thank you, Jim.
Second.
Second. Thank you, Brandon. Any questions before we vote? No questions? Everybody vote by usual sign. Motion carries.
And I'm just gonna stand here.
Okay, because you've got a few other items. All right. And for the audience watching on the live stream, we're on item 10C, and that is the grant project ordinance for the Mitchell County Athletic Facility Grant.
Okay, this is the grant that, Mitchell County Schools just got for, from the state. It's another one of the SCIP grants. It's for $14,500,000. We will, facilitate that grant through our office. Mitchell County was named as the recipient from the legislature. So the first thing we need to approve is the grant project ordinance. Anytime that we get a grant or any type of capital project that comes after the adoption of our budget, then you put that into your budget by means first of a grant project ordinance. So I'll need the board to approve this ordinance for the $14,500,000 so we can accept this grant.
All right, before we vote, does anybody have any questions for Mavis regarding this topic? Do we have a motion to move forward?
So moved.
Thank you, Clayton. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Jeff. All in favor, vote by usual sign. Motion carries. Okay. On to the new bank account for this.
Okay, the state is requiring all of these funds that's, coming to us. We got a couple grants last year and we've got a couple this year. Those monies cannot be commingled with any other monies, and it has to be in a separate bank account. Interest that's earned on this money has to stay with this project, and will be spent with the initial grant funds. So to do that, we do have to open an account. So anytime that the finance office has to open an account or close an account, the board needs to approve that. So I need you to approve the bank account that we have opened with United Community Bank. This particular account will house the funds for the $14,500,000. And this account has been opened with an interest rate of 4%.
Make a motion for, new bank account number 1.
Thank you, Jeff.
Second.
The money market account, how'd you get?
We won't discuss that.
That's a great rate. Sorry, finance officer.
It is a money market. I will do one transfer per month.
Okay, all right. Didn't mean to tread into that.
Different line.
Tell all my secrets.
I was impressed, that's a great rate.
All in favor, vote by equal sign. Motion carries. So item 10E is a grant project ordinance for the county of the Mitchell Recreation Grant
Recreation.
Project. Sorry.
Again, this was an additional 2.7 million that the county got from Raleigh this year. And this will be a companion to the first grant that we got for the recreation center. However, they cannot be combined because they were issued in 2 different years and have 2 different, even though the scope of work is similar, this one will pick up where the other one ends. So again, we'll do a separate grant project ordinance for this 2.7 million for the Mitchell County Recreation Complex. So I will ask if you guys will approve that one.
So moved.
Thank you, Brandon.
Second.
Thank you, Clayton. There's no discussion and everybody vote by usual sign. Motion carries. Item 10F is new bank account.
So, again, since we can't mingle this with the other money that we got for the same project, we had to open a second bank account for $2.7 million at an interest rate of 4%. And we also opened that one at United Community Bank.
Do we have a motion to approve the new bank account?
Make a motion to approve new bank account number 2.
Thank you, Jeff.
Second.
Thank you, Brenda. All in favor, vote by usual sign. Motion carries. All right, so now that we've opened all of those, I believe Mavis is gonna ask us for a budget amendment. Is that
So
correct?
now, since, of course, this was not in our original budget, when we did it in 23-24. Now that we have done a budget ordinance, we will actually have to put this into our physical budget with a budget amendment. And this is gonna be budget amendment number 4. And you're gonna see that, we will open Fund 47 for the Mitchell County Athletic Grant, and we will open, Fund 48 for our Mitchell County Recreation Grant number 2. So you will see that these are balanced. It's showing the money coming in and the money going out. And at this point, I'm just recognizing the principal amount because those funds, once we get the contract, which should be shortly, they will drop those funds into those accounts. We will see another budget amendment later. We'll recognize the interest. I don't know when the money's coming. I don't know when the interest is gonna start. So this is just the basic principal amount we're opening with and putting into our budget. So I'm asking if you'll approve budget number 4, budget amendment number 4. We'll get that actually on our general ledger so we can start accounting for it once that money drops in.
Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion for, budget amendment number 4.
Thank you, Jeff.
Second.
Thank you, Steve. All in favor, vote by usual sign.
And I'm sorry, we have so many,
That's okay.
just business tasks that we have to do, but those are steps we have to go through to,
For 4%, we'll do it.
to do what we need to do to meet all the requirements of this money. Thank you.
Moving on to item 10H is our library board appointments. And I believe in your packet, there were some names given. After speaking to Commissioner Harding, I believe Darla's gonna wait it out just a little bit.
Six Baker's.
All right. Are there any other names to be brought forward for consideration for the library board appointment? Hearing none. Do we have a motion to approve Aurora Wilson and Camille Googe as the nominees for the Mitchell County Library Board?
So moved.
Thank you, Brandon. We have a motion on the table.
Second.
Thank you, William. All in favor, vote by usual sign.
I think all right. I talked to Camille. Camille said that she'd be on the serve.
I had suggested Aurora because she is young and she's a teacher.
You talk to her?
Mhm.
Okay. I think it's a good idea.
I think she was very excited to be considered.
Camille was as well. So,
Did you second it?
Yes.
Okay, so on favor, vote by usual sign. Motion carries. Okay. And Steve, do we have to sign a letter for
Oh,
those
yes.
appointments?
I'll prepare those,
Okay, thank you.
submit those. and
Okay.
Just need the chair to sign, and that will be, copy of that will go to the board of records.
Yes,
And a copy also to the library.
and it will have their board, the amount of time that they're serving on that board and all of that information, correct?
All of them, yes, they're all 3 years, so.
Okay. All right,
2 consecutive 3 years, but after the first 3-year term, they have to be voted on again, correct?
Correct,
And you can only serve 2 consecutive 3-year appointments, and then you have to go off.
right.
Okay, is that the same rules for the regional?
Yeah. It's. Yes, it's 3-year term and then you go off of it.
all right, so, moving forward, there was a second part of the library board appointment. There is one position open on the regional library board. This position must come from the current membership of the Mitchell County Library Board. The following is a list of current members on the Mitchell County Public Library Board. There was Clayton Roberts, Keith McKinney, Sharon Webb, Neil Cron, and Steve is already on the regional board. So,
I have a question,
Yes.
Ms. Masters, forward, this will be a question, probably for you, or Steve. Since Mr. Roberts sits on the local board as a county commission, I'm assuming that he is eligible, if nominated, to sit on the regional board since he sits on the local board, even though he's appointed by county commissioner. Is that correct or incorrect, sir?
Yes, sir, I believe that he would be eligible for appointment to the regional board if so chosen.
Okay,
so my only question for that, would he, when they're making financial decisions, would he have to abstain from voting here on a budgetary level or there on a budgetary level?
No, because he is the appointee to both boards, he can make financial decisions
Okay.
as to each entity. The abstention doctrine would only apply if there's some personal financial gain for him or his household, which, dare say would not be the case, because I don't believe there's compensation associated with the library service board.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Open the floor for any of the 1, 2, 3, 4.
so in saying that, if Mr. Roberts will accept, I'll nominate Clayton Roberts for the regional library board.
Second.
Any other nominations? Then none, we will, let's see, did you put that in the form of a motion? Okay, yeah. Is there a second to?
I second it.
Okay, Brandon. All in favor, vote by usual sign. Will you also draft that letter, Steve? Okay, thank you so much. You would just get those to Alan, we'll get them signed.
Okay.
All right. Moving on, it is now time for ENR again. So we have to discuss the dates set for ENR. So if everybody will pull out their calendars.
We just have this there, what do we do?
So
Look forward to it every year.
typically those are set in April, is that correct, Blair?
Right, about the
I asked her when spring break was, and she said it was the first week in April, so I would assume those dates are off the table,
Hang
correct?
on the first and the second week, the second week after the pretty trip. So,
Okay. Anybody else?
yeah, that's things that are true. That's kind of.
Anybody have anything on the third or the fourth week?
tax day's the 15th.
Good day to start.
What do you need, like 3 or 4 dates?
I would propose we do three, probably 5-hour sessions. And if we can, let's try to stagger them, where if there is properties that need to be reviewed or physical inspection, that we allow time for that. And I get feedback to the board from the review.
All right. Somebody throw out a date.
Do you have any dates you recommended?
Just as long as we get them done before that.
I think.
So we've got a 2-week period time frame in there.
Outside of spring break, if you're doing after school, I'm not open,
Probably not the 16th, because we tentatively have a meeting that day,
except the 16th.
so.
You have to after school all that,
Yeah.
I mean, pretty much. Usually.
You wanna revisit my?
Can we do the 17th and 18th or 18th and 19th?
What about the 17th, 18th, 22nd and 23rd for backup?
17, 18.
Okay.
Do you want, I'd probably say people have church on the 17th, so I don't think probably won't run that late. I don't think anybody will sign up to come that day, but
What kind of time we're thinking, Blair?
I was thinking about 5 hours.
I mean, like noon to 5, or we?
Whatever works for y'all.
I wanna make sure there's some after 5, so people are working.
I can do all that after 5. We wanna do some 3 to 7, so.
Okay.
Three to eight.
You said 3 to 10, I'm not. All right, so the 17th. Is that, what time?
That's a Wednesday.
Yeah, that's a Wednesday.
Okay, so the 18th,
18th, I'm good. with.
time. Well, 3 to 8,
3 to 8 works for me. Work for you, Blair?
That's fine.
we'll sort out who's coming to which meetings later.
What time on the 17th?
Well, if 3 people can meet earlier in the day, the 17th, I think might be fine. I can do the 17th if we need to.
We can do a morning session too. I mean, it's up to y'all. I just gotta know so I can advertise it.
If you do 1 to 5 on Wednesday, I can come in at 2:30.
on the 17th,
You can do half of them.
Yeah, I could too.
does 1 to 5 work for you?
Works fine with me.
Okay, so
We go 1
the
to 6.
Yeah.
On the 6th.
1 to 6. I'll give you 5 hours.
okay, and then Jeff, what did you say, the 22nd?
22nd be that Monday.
Either the 22nd, the 23rd,
Let's do the 23rd and let that be the adjournment. That'll allow enough time to, if there
well,
is.
that'll give us 3 days.
Right. If we've got something that, needs to be physically looked at, I just want to make sure that we allow enough time that I get out there and look at it and
Yeah,
get
What
back.
comes the 23rd?
3 to 8 again.
3 to 8.
all right, so I've got the 17th, 1 to 6, 18th, 3 to 8, 23rd, 3 to 8. You got it, Tyler? Okay, great.
23rd would be
3
the
days.
adjournment.
You think 3 is good?
Yep.
Okay. But
And
if 3 is good.
If, typically the year of the reappraisal, you're gonna have exponentially more appeals than you will 2 years later. So that's the cost for just 3 days.
Thank you, Blair.
All right.
So, we need a motion to approve those, right?
Yes.
Okay. Do we have a motion to approve the 3 dates that we just set for ENR?
Second.
Thank you, Jeremy. Clayton, all in favor, vote by usual sign.
17th, 18th, and 23rd, right?
Send them back to us and all the river can go.
I should go do all those.
Okay, I believe that takes care of all of our items for discussion. And has everybody had time to review their packets for the consent agenda? Do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So no,
Jim, let's see, all in favor, vote by usual sign. All right. And Mavis, do you have anything else for your finance report?
I don't have anything else unless anybody has a question.
Okay. All right, Alan, do you have anything for your county manager?
Typically on the county manager report, I'll kind of go over the past year and talk a little bit about what we have coming up. So, I wanted to just talk a little bit about what we've done this past year. I know this time last year, I sat at this desk and I said, we've got a wild ride in front of us. We have a lot of projects we're launching. We have a lot of stuff going on in Mitchell County. So, I want to talk about a little bit about what this board's accomplished in 2023. Appreciate the opportunity to work for this board. So I'm gonna go over a few things here. So y'all have requested and awarded $2.7 million to fully fund the Mitchell County recreational project. So that project's fully funded. That will have a place for our youth to play baseball, play basketball, our older folks, an indoor track, some workout facility things. We completed the site development on that project. So we have the building seat that's been geotech tested, ready to build on. It's a build ready site. We have also leveled the athletic fields. We hope to get the baseball fields ready to maybe be played on this spring. So we've already got the fields leveled. Working on the infield. We've been doing some environmental studies and fishing for some grants on the Bakersville Creek Walk expansion. That's a very exciting project. The Bakersville Creek Walk expansion hopes at some point to have it where people will not cross the state road, yet go underneath the overpass bridge, where you can have a linkage into this new facility over here. And it will basically double the length of the creek walk. In addition to that, we have made provisions for approximately 100 plus vehicles to be parked in Bakersville. Now, if you look at looking at a downtown, one of the main things to make a downtown successful is having adequate parking. The little things right there make you successful. So that has come to fruition. We have a big parking area in place. I think that the Creek Walk expansion will also have implications on festivals, and I think that this is something that's going to benefit the whole county. We selected Cook Engineering in conjunction with the architects Scott Bartholomew and mechanical engineer Derek Stewart for the design and construction of our Mitchell County Recreation Project. I know I'm running that right here as my first little group of things. We requested from Senator Ralph Heiss and Representative Dudley Green DOT funding for the redesign of the Red Hill intersection to be safer and less likely for hazardous material spills. So we had a hazardous material spill back in the spring. This board was very proactive. They jumped on it. They tasked me to look at several things, and there's a checkbox there of success. We have now outfitted a chemical spill response trailer with the help of Sibelco. We have that modernized and ready to respond in the event of a spill. We have went forward down in Red Hill, a lot of the places where this issue is occurring. We have done a redesign to accommodate chemical trucks, 18-wheelers. There's still work to be done on widening that road, but that intersection is a point that is very difficult whenever folks are going through that area. We improved the subdivision ordinance to balance landowner and buyer protections with citizen safety. We continued fiscal budget management with spending kept at or below budget. Our finance officer, our commission boards, our whole focus has been trying to run things on a budget. It's a novel thing for government to think about, but here on the local basis, our budget's wide open for everyone to view, and it's balanced. It is a budget that I'm very proud of, and we work really hard to make sure that we're a good steward of the taxpayers' funds. We bid and selected the contractor for the Mitchell County Law Enforcement Center, and we added safeguards to the construction process to monitor the build progress and budget. Right now, we've been about a month into the building of a law enforcement center that will benefit the present and future needs of Mitchell County law enforcement. That law enforcement center build right now is going very smoothly. We have about 2 checks and balances in place, and those checks and balances are working nicely to make the build run smooth. So Hickory Construction has stepped up, and they're managing the build very good right now. I'm very happy with them. Another thing that was exciting in the past year, Mitchell County applied for and was awarded the Mitchell County License Plate Agency. So this allows our county to better serve the citizens by keeping the tag office in county. So that one was a really exciting one. It came to us in the summer, and we moved forward with pursuing the Mitchell County License Plate Agency, and we did get that. So it opened on December 6th. So you do not have to drive out of county to get your tag work done. You can now come in county. One of the things that we really focused on was trying to put folks in place that are going to serve the citizens in a courteous and helpful manner. Right now we're going to need 1 more part-time person out there. We got 2 full-times in place, and we're a few months out, but we want to make a new location that will better serve the needs of the population. The current location is very small. So we're working on moving the license plate agency in the old Sears building. We've got a lot of renovations to do there, so we're several months out on that. I was hoping we maybe could get that by March, but it may be looking like April or May due to just kind of the process of making sure we've got everything in place and correct on that, bill. We opened the Mitchell County License Plate Agency on December 6th, and those girls have been working hard. They had one of their busiest days this past Thursday. They had a $22,000 transaction day at the License Plate Agency. That's a lot of citizens being helped. We advocated and received supplies and equipment from Sabelco for an updated chemical spill response trailer, and I know I hit on that earlier. We received a grant and awarded a contract to the Mitchell County Emergency Operations Plan to be completed by summer of 2024. So we got a grant to look at our emergency operations plan. That plan is basically something you refer to whenever crap hits the fan. We get a disaster, whatever it be. That plan is required for all counties, and it needs to be current and updated. It has not been updated in many years. So we're really excited about that. We also, Mitchell County Board of Commission approved the hazardous materials spill and cleanup ordinance. Our county attorney worked with us to put an ordinance through that would hold folks responsible if they're spilling large amounts of chemical on our roads and in our environment. There are certain conditions that would be met that causes accountability to kick in. So it's a good ordinance to keep our area clean and our folks safe. We improved citizen protection from title theft via the Register of Deeds notification portal. We applied for the sidewalk grant that, if approved, will provide a sidewalk along the entire length of Ledger School Road. We built an agreement with the Board of Education to allow for full sales tax reimbursement for goods bought related to the new middle school building. The amount of savings is projected to be anywhere from $700,000 to $1 million that will roll back into that building. So that's a considerable amount of savings coming into the county by being able to reimburse sales tax. Our finance office is working at max capacity as we talk about that. Remodeled and updated the EDC conference room to include the addition of 3 remodeled office spaces. We remodeled and updated 2 offices at the annex building to provide for the general statute needs for administrative office of court staffing. We initiated and will continue to honor veterans during the week of Veterans Day with Operation Greenlight. And that's where we basically take a whole week of Veterans Week and we focus green lights on the flags and on the courthouse. And we also, coming down the pipe for 2024, it's a wild year coming up here. It's going to be busy. We began site facility needs assessment for Bowman Middle School. And from this, we'll build a scope of work for use by Bowman, for use of Bowman by Mitchell County. We're exploring locating ag extension in Bowman among several other departments. There's an auditorium and gymnasium that will continue to be used for community programs. So we have a lot on our plate. This board here has voted and moved forward a lot of really neat initiatives in the last year. Folks, we're getting ready for another year of it. We got a lot of projects in works. We got some that'll be completed by the end of this year. We should see a law enforcement center completed. We should see a rec center coming up out of the ground out here. We will have a baseball field in working order. We will be seeking out funds and maybe getting grant funding, hopefully lining that up for Bowman. We have our roads, our sidewalks, our middle school, all that stuff is being moved in a positive direction. So get ready for 2024, folks. We're going to be working it. Thank you. That's my county manager report.
I think that's one question.
Yes, ma'am.
When do they have a tentative date to start the Red Hill intersection? Is it the spring?
So he is, Coach McCray is our district engineer, and he had stated that spring is the time frame. So I guess it's hard to get an exact month out of there. So spring runs all the way up to mid-June. But I would expect to start seeing some work on that. It's fully funded. One thing to note is Coach will be retiring. Our district engineer will be retiring in the next couple months. I will miss Mr. McCray.
All right, thank you. What's been passion everyone?
Well, I don't really have much today. Haven't done anything exciting, just a lot of boring housekeeping stuff. Harley's walked in on me doing a lot of scanning lately, so it's not all I've been up to lately. Nothing fun to tell you today.
All right. Any need for a closed session?
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Hearing none, do we have anybody out there that's filled out a blue sheet for a public comment? Hearing none, Commissioner Pittman, any board comment?
Oh, I had a Robert, I forgot what I wanted to say. You can come back to me in a minute.
Second, Commissioner Pittman.
No.
Hey, Commissioner Roberts.
The only thing I like to say is, 2023 was an exciting year for me, and I'm excited for 2024, moving forward. We have a lot of exciting things going on, amongst the county, and, I look forward to working with my hardest to see how things go.
Thank you, Commissioner Roberts. Commissioner Harding?
Just a lot of energy and time put into 2023. I think that was evident when Alan gave his report of how much is going on. In saying that, with everything that's going on, in the near future, we're probably gonna have to address a couple of things. And I talked a little bit with Alan today about some of those. I won't mention those in open session. But we're gonna have to look at to make these projects move smoother and faster. We're gonna have, in my opinion, look at put a couple of things in.
I did. So I actually got to utilize the tag office for the first time today, and it was a fantastic experience. The staff there was very helpful to me. We were calculating some title and registration fees and came up with the same amount. And so it was a pleasant experience while I was in there. Some of the other patrons commented on how appreciative they were of the professional service that our tag office is delivering. And it's one of those things you don't realize, like the month it was down, or month and a half it was down, how much of a burden that really puts on people to have to leave the county and go take care of their license plate needs in Answer McDowell. So kudos to that staff, they're doing a great job. It's kind of cool.
Well, the only thing I had was, our next meeting is scheduled for the 16th. Is there a need, since we may have bad weather, for that meeting?
Get by, we can get in that meeting. We can do one that month.
Only one meeting in February.
On the
Yes,
12th.
so, and then, so cancel.
Yeah.
The 16th.
You,
Okay, so then moving on to February, is anybody opposed to just doing one meeting about the middle of the month in February?
I think right now it was kind of said the 12th would be a good day for
Are
February.
you guys opposed for Lincoln birthday?
No,
It's not
no,
okay.
we
It's just send it to
Martin
calendar.
Luther King Jr. Day, but we will.
Cause I know that the chamber had scheduled the candidates for on the 20th. So do you think we could tentatively just do one meeting in February?
Yes, I think that would be fine.
Can you do the 12th? Randy, can you do the 12th?
There you have it.
Jeff, can you do the 12th?
Yeah.
Clayton?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll get that ready tomorrow.
And so that would be,
6:31.
yes, that's correct.
We're gonna do this that one that day too.
Yes.
All right, so
So it'll be 5:30,
Yes,
DSS 6:30 commish.
yes.
that's something we did text now.
You need that in form of a motion or?
It'd be appropriate,
Appropriate.
since you set your main calendar
Okay, I
as,
just wanted to make sure.
yeah, technically as chair, you can call a meeting, it can be advertised, but it's also appropriate to do it by motion.
Okay,
So
So,
make a motion, we cancel the 16th of January meeting and we set the meeting date for February the 12th. And DSS at 5:30, commissioner meeting at 6:30.
Okay.
On that day.
all right. All of that is in the form of a motion put on by Steve. Do we have- Who's that? Okay. All in favor, vote by usual sign. Okay. Two more today, but we'll be like three.
Yeah, April.
April.
At least 4, maybe 5, possibly.
All right, if there's no more comments, then we'll need a motion to adjourn.
No, no.
Steve.